This is a very serious video. Very serious. I don't want serious people in here. For too long, we have looked at characters such as Scar, or Trunchbull, or the patriarchy as villains in our musicals. But there is one character in a musical. One character who is put on a pedestal that they do not deserve. The most evil villain that we all must band together to call out for the monster that they are. Tika the elephant from Barbie as the island princess. Don't you dare laugh. This is serious. This is a very, very serious video. I have evidence, and I'll put together like this video, and you will appreciate it, and you will like it, and you will subscribe. And you will subscribe to Dan Talks Theatre, because you will just be forever in my debt for this knowledge that I'm about to bestow upon you. Today, I'm going to prove to you that this elephant with a full face of makeup is a manipulative sociopath who will stop at nothing to get what she wants and should be regarded as the worst character in the Barbie cinematic universe. Hell, any cinematic universe known to man. Now, if you are lucky enough to not have witnessed these war crimes that this elephant has committed. But let me just catch you up to speed if you don't know. Tika is a one-off character in the Barbie universe because they made so many of these direct-to-DVD films that they have a universe. She appears in Barbie as the island princess, where Barbie roleplays as an island girl who meets a prince who falls in love with her despite the fact that she probably hasn't showered in a decade and is in clear need of psychiatric help because she believes she can talk to animals. It's an interesting watch. Our island girl Ro has a couple of best friends, one of them being Tika. On the Barbie fandom wiki, because yes, I do my research, Tika is described as loyal and adorable, which I take as an insult. First off, who looks at this thing and thinks adorable? This is one of the worst things I've ever laid my eyes on. Now, we don't shame people for their appearance on the Dan Talks Theatre variety channel, but I'll make an exception. Why are eyelashes so big? Why are eyelashes so big? There is no way that they have access to makeup on this island. And even if they do, who is putting mascara on an elephant? And it just ends up looking so cursed. I dare you to find me a more cursed looking character in a Barbie film. Oh dear God, what is that? But the main insult I take from that description is that it says that Tika is loyal. That is just blatantly incorrect. Tika is the complete opposite of loyal. Tika is the type of friend who manipulates you into doing things that only benefit them. Because Tika is one of the most self-centered, uncaring, and just blatantly selfish characters I have ever seen. You don't believe me? Well, sit down, buckle up, because I have all the evidence. Exhibit A. At the beginning of the film, all our characters have had a long day of islanding. You know, they've been collecting food, they've been adventuring, they've been not bathing, and you know, they just want to have a nice little sunburn, a nice little sleep. And you know, they're in a tree, they're loving life, they're snoring away, and then this girl decides that this is the greatest time to have a nightmare. Now, nightmares are fine, you know, they happen in different ways, but this elephant starts kicking the tree and makes all the characters in the tree fall to their deaths.
What? Hey!
Okay, no, I just edited in the neck crack sound. But oh my God, wouldn't it be a ballsy move if they killed like a bunch of the characters at the start of your Barbie film? But what's her reaction to this? You know, she's endangered her friends. She could have seriously injured them. Does she care? No. She starts guilt-tripping Ro, making the situation all about herself, and then she manipulates Ro into staying up all night with her. She doesn't apologise for putting her friends in danger. She just thinks about her personal gain. well, Tika, we've all got problems, but you don't see me going around accidentally almost murdering my friends. Unless... Exhibit B. Ro has just agreed to stay up all night with Tika. Because, you know, she's a good person who cares about a friend's mental state. Unlike Tika, who doesn't care about anything except getting Ro's attention. Does she say thank you? Does she take the time to explain why she's been acting like this? Does she maybe even pay Ro back for the kindness that she's showing? No! Of course not! Because she's not a good person! Tika makes her sing a song and then demands, straight up demands, that she finish the song. And then she falls asleep. Okay, I get it. It's a film. It's a film designed for 8-year-olds. You know, I get it. You can't really have a scene where Tika goes, oh, don't you worry, I'm your bestest friend. Thanks for staying up with me. Because it would ruin the pace a little bit. But the lack of care in all of these moments throughout the film, and even more moments, I have so many moments to show you, where she just shows a complete lack of empathy and care towards the people around her, just makes her so unlikable, even if she isn't technically the worst person of all time. But don't worry, she will get there. She'll get there. Just hang on a second. Exhibit C, Prince Rich Boy enters the garden. This is the first time Ro has ever seen anyone that looks like her. This is completely Ro's moment. And what does Tika do? She makes it about herself. She tries to rally everyone into running away and hiding from him. Why does she do this? Because he's a human. And he doesn't have a trunk or any other features of an animal. Tika, you are literally living with a human. You can't pretend like you've never seen a human before. Yet again, just thinking about yourself and your own self-interest and not taking into account that this might be a big moment for your friend. Disgusting behaviour. Exhibit D. This one glare that Tika gives to the prince. Now you might say, oh, why are you're digging here. You're scratching the bottom of the barrel. But nay, this 1 second glare tells you everything you need to know about Tika. Tika is a manipulative sociopath. She only cares about herself and she only wants Ro. She wants all of Ro's attention. We see this from the start of the film where she's kicking everyone down. She's probably trying to murder the other two people and keep Ro alive because she knows Ro is on like a low enough branch to survive the fall, but the other guys aren't. She was trying to murder them so that she could have Ro all to herself. That's what Tika's like. You know, she doesn't outright say it, but you read the subtext. And the subtext of this moment is that look tells me I hate the prince. He's trying to take Ro away. That's disgusting. She's already thinking of a million ways to manipulate Ro and take Ro away from him, just as any manipulative, toxic friend would do. There's just so much evidence I have to speedrun it. Exhibit E. Look at this moment where they finally reach the kingdom and Ro is ecstatic. She's like, oh my god, everyone looks like me. And dumb Tika goes, step aside. This is my moment to say something. Boo-hoo. Well, there's no elephants here. Tika, there's no elephants on your island either. It's this broken logic that just shows how selfish she is. Then there's Exhibit F, the moment where Tika decides that, you know, instead of going in the sweet carriage ride, that she has to ride her because, you know, she wants Ro all to herself. Exhibit G. This elephant for the entire first part of the film was like, oh no, don't leave me, Ro, and then immediately leaves Ro to hang out with these little princesses. The hypocrisy here gets me so infuriated. Exhibit H, after Ro has been nothing but a sweet princess to this dumb elephant for the entire film, she decides to speak to Ro like she is scum. Exhibit I, she picks up children with a trunk, probably traumatizing them, because honestly, if I saw this elephant, I would be massively traumatized. Exhibit J, she spits glitter out from her trunk. One, how did she drink the glitter? This opens many questions that I don't want to answer, but then she spits it all over Ro. You know, this is meant to be like a magical moment finishing the dress, but surely there must be so much of her spit in there that must be absolutely disgusting. She's just ruined the dress. They spent this whole song making the dress and making it look pretty and beautiful, and then Tika ruins it in like 5 seconds. Disgusting. You guys are like, surely that's it. That's all that she's done. You know, only little microaggressions, only tiny little microaggressions, but no. It's because Tika takes it one step too far. Like Icarus, she flies too close to the sun, and her manipulative tactics get called out because she hides the letter from Ro. Now, this is the moment that everyone looks to and says this. This is the reason that you are just an awful character. So, for people who don't know, the prince decides to give up being a prince. And he goes and writes her a letter and leaves it where she's staying. But Tika decides that only she can have Ro and gets rid of the letter. And then, you know, she builds this up. There's several moments where she could tell Ro. She doesn't. And it leads to the climax of the film. And every bad thing that happens is because of Tika getting rid of this letter. The entire village almost gets poisoned because Tika hides this letter. But as I said, she does finally apologise. The guilt gets to her and she apologises to Ro. And then proceeds to make the apology all about her. The apology is all about her. And she doesn't apologise for everything. And there's no comeuppance. She is immediately forgiven for being the worst character in this film. This elephant walks in here, almost kills her friends, manipulates her best friend, acts horrible to anyone who even talks to her best friend, acts horrible towards her best friend, even when she's going through a lot already, is a complete hypocrite, spits glitter on her, and ruins the chances with someone she truly fancies, and is completely forgiven. And we're meant to completely forgive her because she had a little cry and said an apology that was all about her. Once again, guilt-tripping Ro into being the better person. You know what? This character could probably be so easily redeemed. I would probably be sitting here with a Tika hat and a Tika lunchbox saying, "Go Tika, go, you're my favourite character." If she had like a sacrificial act, something she did that, you know, was selfless. Selfless, all she needs to be. For like 1 second, she does need to be selfless. Maybe, you know, leave Ro alone for like 5 seconds so she can, you know, have a love session with the prince or whatever she wants to have. But no, she is all about herself. Never once thinking about the consequences of her actions. Never once taking into account the feelings of the people around her. Manipulating events so that she gets what she wants, even if it damages people that she says that she cares about. And what's the moral? What's the moral? That this is perfectly fine behaviour as long as you apologise for one out of the a million things you do wrong. No! Unfriend her! This is the most toxic person I have ever seen. Constantly whining, constantly selfish, constantly ruining things, so much so that I hate her more than the actual villain of this film who tries to poison an entire kingdom. I hate her more than this woman who bribed a boat driver to kill our like 4 lead characters because at least if her plan worked, we wouldn't have to suffer with Tika anymore. This cartoon elephant is just filled me with so much hate that I've just spent about 15 minutes talking about all her crimes. I mean, those are just the crimes from the film. She's probably committed so many crimes. I bet she laughs at homeless people. She gives me that kind of energy. I bet she steals from charity. She poisoned the Gotham City water supply. She cooks meat and gives it to vegans. She loves fracking for oil. Tika will get away with this behaviour forever because no one will hold her up to the consequences of her actions. Unless we make a stand. Unless we use our voices. Unless we reveal that the true villain behind every single film in the Barbie cinematic universe is Tika. Yes, we must band together to make sure that everyone knows that she is truly evil. And to make sure that happens, make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel. We make great musical theatre content every single week. You can check out some of these other videos on screen right now. Make sure you spread the word. And just as long as Tika doesn't find me. Oh no, she's here. Guys, keep spreading the word. She's come for me. Tika, no. Tika, no. Tika, no!